Hi, I'm Duncan Kinney, the editor of Unlimited. Today I'm speaking with Michael Brechtel, an account manager at Red the Agency. Good day, Mike.
Hey.
Today we're following up on a most excellent piece that Mike wrote for Unlimited on the subject of guerrilla marketing. Today we're going to be discussing specific examples and whether this is or whether this isn't guerrilla marketing, as well as kind of the best and worst of the genre. So why don't you start us off?
So poking around, looking for examples of kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly, or the totally inappropriate. One of the first ones that jumped out, just as a really simple and I think effective guerrilla marketing piece, was one that Mercedes did in Germany. It really was dead simple. It was essentially a suction cup attached to a Mercedes-Benz symbol that they plunked on the front of people's cars as like a hood ornament, and had a little tag on it that invited them for a test drive. It was something that could have got them in trouble because they were playing with other people's personal property. So I think it was a little risky in that regard. It's creative and it's simple, but it also really shows that they're trying to work hard to entertain their audience a little bit, to give them some sort of interactive experience where they're part of it, where it's not simply just putting something in front of them, but it's actually allowing them to be part of that experience. So they look down their hood and all of a sudden it's as if they're driving a Mercedes, and they know it's not, but it's kind of fun and unexpected.
So what's your next example?
Next one is more along the bad and the ugly, and really for me it's more of an example of where people talk about and they throw the term guerrilla marketing around without any knowledge or appreciation, I believe, for what it should be. Now, I'll preface this one by saying that J. Conrad Levinson, when he wrote his book on guerrilla marketing, this is closer to what he talked about. This is closer to what he intended as the guerrilla marketing. I think, though, the challenge is I don't think the term applies well to what he describes as guerrilla marketing. In his eyes, guerrilla marketing was something that was simple and cost effective. It was not necessarily interesting or engaging or subversive or broke any rule. The rule for him in guerrilla marketing, really, when it comes down to it, is what's the most cost-effective way to reach your audience, and that could easily be, in a lot of these cases, a flyer or an ad in a community league newspaper, or something that's cheap. So in the article, I kind of described it as simple and cost-effective marketing for small and medium-sized businesses, but I don't believe it's guerrilla. I think the use of that term was smart. I think that's the reason he sold this many books, but I think it's almost co-opting something that's got some cachet. Well, this one I think is an example of somebody referring to something as guerrilla marketing when I don't think this campaign deserves to use that term. So this is a guy, he calls himself a serial entrepreneur, speaker, and author. His website is shoddy. Looks like it was done in some, I don't know, is it Joomla, or I don't even think, WordPress makes better looking sites. But he says Victoria's Secret's a clever marketing program, guerrilla marketing idea. It's a coupon. So it was a card that his wife got that said this is worth at least a $10 discount, but it could be worth more. For me, that's a flyer. That's not guerrilla marketing. That's not unique. That's not subversive. It doesn't engage the user. It doesn't. For me, what's the connection? It doesn't ring as authentic. Why is that particular medium or that particular offer a good fit for Victoria's Secrets in this case? What's the relevance? When I see something like that, it doesn't engage me, and it certainly doesn't make me feel excited or entertained or surprised. This is.
Okay, so why don't you tell us about this next example, Mike?
Well, this one I'm kind of biased. I watch a lot of soccer, and this is one where Heineken used a campaign to help remind men of how valuable and special the time is when you're watching a soccer game. This was a campaign done in Italy, where it was Real Madrid and Inter Milan. Mm-hmm. And so that was just brilliant. They picked a day where there was this Real Madrid Inter Milan game on. Obviously, there's a lot of guys that want to watch this. A lot of girls too, I'm sure, but this was really focused to the guys. So they recruited a bunch of professors, bosses, girlfriends, other people to tell their employees, students, and boyfriends basically that they had to come to this classical music and poetry thing the same night as this big game. So, and this is Champions League. So this is the games you don't want to miss. They're always just fantastic to watch. And watching the video, and I think Duncan, you're gonna post that.
Yes.
Post link. Yeah. Watching the video, you see the difficulty that the guys have, and some of them almost chuckle at how ridiculous it is to suggest that they would go watch classical music and poetry when Real Madrid and Inter Milan are playing. Like, not cool. I love this campaign. So, we'll get to finish kind of the story. Basically, they bring all these men in. They hoodwinked something like 1,100 guys in total, or 1,100 people. It was mostly guys, and they brought them into a theater to do this classical music / poetry thing, and it goes on for 15 minutes, and finally there's the reveal where you'll see it when you watch the video, but they reveal that it's actually really special and important for guys to be able to watch these big games. And then this poetry and classical music stuff ends and the game starts, and they play that and everyone gets to watch it in the theater. So it's just, it's something that's exciting. It's something that hits home. Heineken's a sponsor of the Champions League, so there's a fit there. But this was the most creative way I've seen them use that sponsorship. This was something that blurred. It pushed the lines a little bit for me. I think that anytime a teacher uses that teacher-student relationship in a manipulative way, you're going to get people that don't like it, especially when it's on behalf of a corporation like Heineken. So they took some real risks there. I don't think with the girlfriend stuff it's a big deal. With the boss stuff and teacher stuff, maybe it is. I think girlfriends pressure their guys to do things, or my fiance does. But they took some risks. They put a lot of effort and thought into this, into creating something that was really truly unique, that really truly spoke to the needs, desires, and opinions of their target audiences. So these guys that love soccer recognize that that watching the game is a special time for them, and you're sharing that message back to them and proving how special it is. Because now when you watch the reveal on this video, they are excited. Like, they're excited that this thing only went 13 minutes and now they get to watch the game. Really resonated. I think that, so let's see, they broke some rules, they pushed some boundaries, they were incredibly creative, they used reasonably inexpensive tactics. And you look at the end credits, I can't remember the number of millions of views the videos got, and the coverage of media all over the world. And so Heineken really, with this one piece that was just smart, well executed, and a little bit risky, were able to send a message that resonated with their audiences, as well as reaching audiences all over the world. It was pretty cool. I kind of wish I had been there. I think I would have been pretty happy to watch the game too.